Hello, everyone. My name is Lindsay, and I'm the founder of World Changing Kids, and my pronouns are she and her. And today I am super excited to introduce our special guest that we have here today for our workshop. I'm super excited to introduce Lindz, who is, I printed it out actually because you have done a lot more since the last time we chatted. This is so impressive. So I would have said, I know Lindz from their awesome YouTube channel called Queer Kid Stuff, for which I think there were 4 seasons. And so I followed, I think, for the 4 years ago when you started it. A beautiful educational entertainment show to teach kids all about LGBTQ plus and pride and social justice. But now you're gonna have to tell us all about this. You have an Activist You podcast. You do performances at schools, museums, library, community centers. And you have a new company, Queer Kid Creative, an edutainment company. I like that word, edutainment company, making queer-focused, intersectional, all ages media. And then you're in this mentorship program that looks amazing, Kid Screen. I looked that up quick. That's awesome. So much that we have to learn from you. And with that, I will just let you start. Introduce yourself. The kids can jump in with questions, and we're just going to have a beautiful conversation.
Yeah, awesome. Hi, everyone. My name is Lindz. I use they, them pronouns. I identify as queer and trans non-binary. And yeah, that was a great introduction. I do a lot of things. I started Queer Kid Stuff in 2016, and we did 4 seasons of all ages videos, tackling everything from what does gay mean to gender to activism. We covered a lot of topics. I've done a season of a podcast that I ran called Activism, where I interviewed kid and teen activists who were, and my dog really wants my attention right now. And I've also just been doing a lot of work. I do performances at schools and libraries all over the place with the Queer Kid Stuff material. I also do a bunch of consulting. If you checked out the Blues Clues and You Pride Parade video that came out early June, I consulted on that video, which was really cool. So I've been doing a lot of stuff in the kind of mainstream kids media space, which has been really exciting. And yeah, lots of Georgie. It's very rude. That's my dog, Georgie. It's getting close to her dinner time, so we're getting a little antsy. But yeah, I do a lot of things, and Queer Kid Creative is really just kind of like the overarching umbrella organization for all the work that I do, just kind of housing it under one thing. Always happy to talk about entrepreneurship and being a queer business owner. It is a whole thing, especially in the midst of a pandemic. But yeah, I do a ton of stuff. I talk to folks like you all and do workshops and professional development and just like a professional queer creative person. So yeah, I thought I didn't have anything particularly prepared for today, but I thought we would just like answer questions and chat. I'm also in the middle of writing a book right now. So if anyone has questions about that process or what that's going to be about, happy to answer any and all questions and just like talk about myself as like a human. Like outside of all of the work that I do, I'm also like a person and am just another human on another side of the screen, even though I have like all these cool accomplishments and stuff. It's all a facade mostly. So just know that like I can answer anything on any topic, but we can just get into a conversation here if anyone wants to start.
All right, I love it. Do you want to just unmute yourself and jump in, video on or off, whatever you want to do?
Just unmute and video off. I was just wondering for Lindz, when did you really like start looking into the LGBTQ, like queer kid stuff and everything?
Yeah, I started Queer Kid Stuff in 2016, so 5 years ago now. And I started it, I just kind of had the idea and grabbed a couple of friends and we shot the pilot. And, you know, it was a YouTube channel that I started with, 0 subscribers, 0 followers, and just kind of put the pilot together just from this idea that I had, and it just kind of took off from there. It was a lot of like just the people I knew in my life got excited about it, and it started kind of spreading around. It didn't go viral or anything, but it just kind of picked up momentum because I think it, you know, sparked people's interest because there wasn't really anything like it out there that was tackling LGBTQ plus topics in a way that was really kid and family friendly. And kind of just like leading up to queer kid stuff, I studied theater when I was in college and undergrad. And while I was there, I was also kind of coming out and kind of starting to understand my identity as a queer person. And I really wanted to figure out how to bring together my love of theater for, oh my goodness, my theater for young people and storytelling for young people together. Hey, you chill out. Okay, she's just gonna join me. This is Georgie. Say hi, everyone.
That's all she wanted, right? She just wants to
exactly.
Yes.
We're a little big for this, but that's okay. Yeah, so I really wanted to kind of bring together these two things. So my love of like storytelling and theater for young people, and my queer identity. And when I looked at those two things together at the time, I mean, I think this was like 2014, 2015, 2014 when I was still in college. And I kind of looked at the space that I was in and wanting to do that work in, and queer storytelling for kids, even in like the theater space, just really didn't exist. I think there were like a handful of plays, and there's still only like a handful of plays. I don't think that space has really grown at all. And I looked at that and I knew that that's what I kind of wanted to do. And so I just kind of like asked myself, like, how do I make that happen for myself? Because I know it's something, even though it doesn't exist yet, I know it needed to exist and still needs to exist. And so I started kind of trying to figure out and ask myself how to make that happen. And so I went to grad school for a year afterwards. I traveled to London to study. It was this kind of like funky performance art experimental program. And while I was there, I was kind of breaking out of like my kind of traditional theater education, and I was also kind of homesick at the time. And so I was watching a lot of LGBTQ plus American YouTubers, and I just kind of realized that YouTube was a place where kids were and where anyone could put anything. So when I came back to the States, I just kind of went for it, and I grabbed a couple of friends who sort of knew how to work a camera, and we just kind of like were messing around and playing around with these ideas. And we made something that we ended up cobbling together into a video that we did with like zero money. And yeah, it just kind of took off from there. And I kind of realized it was a thing and that people wanted more. And I got like a very, very small grant, and I did a first season, and then a second season, a third season, and a fourth season. And then I haven't uploaded kind of like proper episodes since then for a lot of different reasons. It's expensive. It's hard to keep going with something like that. And I moved states, and there were some personal reasons too. But yeah, I mean, right now we're really trying to kind of breathe new life into the series and figure out where it can go next. Because I think it's really wild and cool that it's still very relevant. Like the videos haven't really dated themselves. Like they're still, people are still discovering them today, and like it's basically like they're brand new, you know. These topics are still relevant, and the space still isn't full of stuff. This is still work that like needs to be out there. So yeah, we're kind of trying to figure out what the next thing is, and right now I'm writing a book that has a lot to do with queer kid stuff. So that's kind of like the thing that I'm working on right now. But yeah, that's kind of the origin story, I guess.